Welcome to the first video from Scrapbooking. A lot of the stuff that I will show in the videos is inspired by Shamel Lane, and she's got a blog at shamel.com, and I totally recommend that you go and visit that site and have a look at that if you haven't already done so. What I want to do is talk about using your stash. If you're anything like me, you're going to have lots of papers and lots of embellishments and all sorts of things. But what we're going to do will work for people that are also on a budget. So if you can't afford to do much and you just want to be able to get a little bit and work with it, then this will work for you as well. The first video is going to be about choosing a set of papers so that you can develop 4 pages from start to finish using these papers. So now's the time to go to your stash and have a look and see what pages you've got that will fit together. And what I did first of all is I just drew 4 separate page plans very roughly, very quickly, and worked out how many papers I would need for that. And then I went to my box of special papers that I've bought because I really like, and now I want to use them. And so what I did was I just went through and started pulling out papers, and this was the first one that I came across that I really quite like. It's a jelly bean soup paper, and the next one that came along was this lovely grey, and the yellow and grey work really well together. And so I kept looking, and then of course came this lovely paper, and it's got the yellow in it, it's got the grey in it, so they all work together, and I was really happy with that. And looking at the colours in this triangle paper, I remembered this basic grey paper, which I absolutely love, and I thought would work with what we've got. And looking at these colours, these work really well. This has got no yellow in it, so I was starting to think, well, it would be difficult to put the yellow with that basic grey paper, but I thought, well, I'll push on and see what else I can find. And I came across this Fancy Pants paper, which is just a nice soft muted paper without too many colours. This one here is actually the reverse of the triangle paper, so I knew that that one would work, and it fits in really well with this basic grey as well. And then I came across this paper, and this works really well. So having a look at these 2 papers and this sort of much louder paper, you can see that the green here fits in very well. It has got some browns as well as the grey, and so the browns are going to follow through as well. And so I thought all of those are going to work. I'm not entirely convinced about this yellow wood grain at the moment. I'm going to put that aside. I might come back to that one later. So I've got I've got half a dozen pattern papers. Some have just single colour basically. So this green and this grey. Some are highly coloured. Some have just got 2 colours. They're fairly simple and straightforward. So you don't want to be overwhelmed with pages like that. Trying to put pages like this one together. If you had several of those that you're trying to put on one page, you'd probably run into having a lot of trouble. So look at your papers and see where you've got ones that only have a single colour or just 1 or 2. Then thinking about the designs that I had, I knew I needed to start to pull together some cardstock, and so I've got 3 colours of cardstock that work very well with these. And so this is my base pack. So I've got 6 pattern papers and I've got 3 cardstocks, and I've got that yellow wood grain that I'm sitting on thinking I might be able to use it, I might not, I don't know yet. So this is where we need to start, and from this we're going to build 4 pages. And in the next video what we'll do is cut down the pages and start looking at photos. And notice that I haven't actually pulled out any photos. I'm not trying to match the papers to the photos. I find this was a suggestion by Shamel, and I find this really a great idea, especially if you can get bogged down sometimes and you can't quite find the right papers for photos. Unless you've got some really special photos, then think about using this method to actually build your pages. So the next video will be on cutting the papers and building our base pages, and then we'll follow it up by looking at embellishments, journaling and titles. See you in the next video.